Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something pretty fascinating, the world of sexual pleasure, but specifically looking at angles and positioning.
Yeah, and our main guide here is the book, Sex Positions You Never Thought Possible. The creators of the Liberator Wedge show you the secrets.
Exactly. And we know you want the key info, like quickly, but also thoroughly. So think of this as a shortcut, really. Understanding how biomechanics, how bodies fit together, maybe with a few simple props,
Yeah.
can just totally revolutionize things.
And what's really cool about this book is how it pulls from everywhere. You've got the Liberator folks, obviously, but also a best-selling author on touch,
Oh, yeah.
and then it dives back into ancient wisdom, Kama Sutra, Anangaranga, the perfumed garden. It's all in there.
Wow. So a mix of modern insights and like really time-tested stuff.
Totally. It's a blend.
Okay, so our mission today, let's dig out those key insights. How can understanding angles unlock, deeper, more varied pleasure for everyone? We're moving past what the book calls flat sex.
Right. And it's not just about learning crazy new positions.
Not acrobatia.
It's more fundamental. It's about understanding the mechanics, the biomechanics of it all.
Okay, so let's unpack that term flat sex. The book says there are, what, 6 main issues with it?
Yeah, 6 big ones. First, just bad biomechanics. Things might not line up well, could even be uncomfortable.
Right.
Then there's friction. Sometimes good, but maybe not always the best way to stimulate certain spots. It can also lead to faster ejaculation for guys sometimes.
Okay.
What else?
Well, boredom, things getting routine, then actual pain in some positions, and finally, limited touch. Your hands are busy holding you up instead of, connecting.
That makes sense, holding yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose that hand freedom. So angles help with this, especially for her pleasure.
Hugely. The book highlights 3 main things angles do for women. 1, obviously, better contact with specific hotspots.
Okay.
2, it enhances body language, how you move, how you communicate non-verbally.
And 3, like you said, it frees up the hands. More touching, more connection.
I like the analogy they use, playing in the yard on the porch before getting invited into the house.
Yes. It really emphasizes that gradual buildup, exploring all those different erogenous zones, not just rushing.
Yeah, the journey. So what are these yard and porch spots? The book is specific, right?
Oh, yeah. Externally, on the vulva, you've got the OF spots outer folds and IF spots inner folds. Lots of nerves there.
Okay.
And, of course, the C spot, the clitoris. Super sensitive.
Right. And internally.
As a whole landscape, the V spot, the vagina itself, responds really well to pressure, not just friction, which is why angles matter so much.
Pressure? Okay.
Then the famous G spot, the book often talks about an anchor and pull sensation being key there.
Anchor and pull. Got it.
Deeper in, there's the A spot, the anterior fornix erogenous zone. That
Right.
needs deeper thrusts usually.
A spot. Deeper. Okay.
And then, kind of opposite to the G spot angle, there's the PS spot, the perineal sponge, often stimulated by shallower angles.
PS spot, shallower. Interesting.
And finally, the CV spot, the cervix, can be sensitive to deep contact, but it varies, depends on the time.
Wow, it really is like an internal map.
Yeah.
And the book mentions these spots can get, like, erect.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, the C spot, the CB's clitoral or vestibular bulbs, the US, or urethral sponge, and that PS spot. They can all engorge with blood during arousal, become even more
It's
sensitive.
fascinating. It's all interconnected.
Exactly. And it's not just about the physical spots. Timing matter. Cycles matter. The book talks about BD's biomechanical, emotional, biochemical changes.
BBs.
Yeah, like how comfortable a position feels might change biomechanically. Emotionally, stress impacts desire, right? And biochemically, hormones shift sensitivity all the time.
Totally. Like throughout the month period, ovulation after ovulation, sensitivity to desire, it all changes.
And then big life stages too. Puberty, pregnancy, postpartum, menopause. They all bring their own BDB shift.
It's a good reminder that pleasure isn't static. It evolves.
Absolutely. So how do we use this?
Right.
The book gives loads of examples using angles for her, like the easy lift, just pillows creating a slope. Simple, but effective for comfort and maybe deeper connection.
Easy lift.
Okay, what else? The trainer, pillows under the guy's knees this time, helps with pelvic rocking, really good for G-spot stimulation potentially.
Pelvic rocking. Trainer position. Got it.
And subtle things like together and apart. Just moving her legs changes sensations in the pelvic floor. It's amazing.
Small changes, big difference.
Exactly. For focusing on the G-spot, there's GA, shallower thrusts, maybe at the edge of the bed. A wedge can help there too.
JGA, shallow.
And then PS, so deep. Great name.
Hmm.
That's an anal position that can hit the PS spot and the G spot at the same time from that angle.
Whoa. Okay, and what about her on top?
Yeah, G. I see spots. Pillows under his butt and knees. Helps target the clitoris, plus the G and A spots.
Nice. Combining
Yeah,
spots.
and connect the spots is similar. Her on top, his knees on pillows, allows her to rock her pelvis, potentially hitting clitoris, G, and A all together.
Seems like pillows are key.
They really are versatile tools.
Yeah.
Even for oral sex, lifted cunnilingus, pillows under her butt slope the pelvis, make access easier.
Makes sense.
Or for the giver's comfort, SA, eating ease. They lie back, relaxed, still have great access. It just shows how angles make things work better for everyone.
Okay, let's shift focus. Male pleasure. It's often seen as simple, right? But the book challenges that.
Definitely. It talks about flat sex for men too.
Yeah.
Same kind of issues. Quick ejaculation sometimes, maybe missing out on pleasure, especially the P-spot.
P-spot, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Also, maybe lacking sensuality, feeling performance pressure, limited variety, even muscle tension from holding awkward positions.
So angles help here too.
Absolutely. Can bring in more sensuality, help with stamina, and stimulate more hot spots than just, the usual.
Okay, so what are the key male hotspots then, besides the obvious?
Well, first, the whole penis, not just the head. The entire shaft is sensitive. Then there's the R spot, the root,
R spot, where's that?
between the scrotum and anus, sensitive to pressure, and it's linked internally to the P spot.
Ah, okay, and the P-spot.
Prostate, kind of like the female G spot in terms of pleasure potential. It's accessed via the anus, gives a different kind of orgasm, often deeper, more full body.
Interesting. Prostate, P-spot, what else?
The B spot, the brain.
The brain, okay.
Yeah, visual stimulation is huge for a lot of men. What they see really impacts arousal and enjoyment.
Right, the mental and visual side. Can't forget that. And the book mentions male cycles, too.
Sort of, not hormonal like women's monthly cycles, but shifts over a lifetime. Sexual focus, sensual focus, energetic focus. Desires can change.
Tell me more about that.
Well, a guy might move from a primarily physical, sexual drive in younger years towards more interest in sensuality and connection later on, and maybe eventually towards an energetic or resting phase where companionship is key. Understanding that helps maintain intimacy through life.
That's a really valuable perspective. So specific positions for his pleasure using angles.
Sure. A lovely view, she's on top, leans back, great visual for him.
Okay, caters to the B-spot.
Exactly. Then royal oral. He sits back, relaxed, makes it easier to stimulate the whole shaft, even the root, the R spot.
Comfort and access. Good combo.
And scoop in for him. She arches her back, maybe uses a pillow or a scoop shape for support.
Right.
Allows for deeper contact along the shaft.
Scooping, deeper shaft sensation.
It's about stimulating physically, but also catering to the visual, the comfort, the whole experience.
It's really interesting how this connects to like ancient texts. The Kama Sutra, Anangaranga, the book talks about those, right?
It does, and it makes a great point. They're not just sex manuals. They're about the art of love, connection, well-being, a whole philosophy.
But people often think Kama Sutra positions are impossible, like acrobatics.
Yeah, that's the modern myth. The book suggests that historically, some positions might have been for elites, maybe. But the core ideas, intimacy, variety, mutual pleasure, are universal and totally adaptable.
With pillows again?
Pillows, props, flexibility work. Yeah, you don't need to be a gymnast. The book shows how to get the essence of the position with a new angle using support.
Give us some examples. How do you modernize an ancient position?
Okay, like the wife of Indra. Sounds intense, right? But add a wedge. It changes the angle, allows shallower penetration, maybe focuses on the G-spot, makes it accessible.
Wedge for wife of Indra. Or
The goat in the tree.
Yep.
She's on his lap, maybe in a chair or on the bed. She controls the depth and angle. Simple, effective.
goat and the tree. She's in control.
The lotus-like position. Face-to-face, cross-legged, very intimate. Can be tough on the hips, but pillows under the knees make it doable, even if you're not super flexible.
Lotus with pillows. Nice.
Then there are positions like Congress of the Cow and Late Spring Donkey. Using props gives support for deeper penetration and better clitoral access.
Making deeper positions more sustainable.
Exactly, the mare's position. Man on forearms, traditionally. Props can support him, make it last longer while she's on top facing away. Great clitoral access there.
Props for the guy, too. Good.
Sideline ones, too. The seventh posture, pillows angle the hips, stimulate different parts of the vaginal walls.
Seventh posture, side stimulation.
Tail of the ostrich sounds wild. It's like a modified shoulder stand, but supported with props, offers really unique sensations.
Okay, maybe work up to that one.
Maybe. Rainbow arch is gentler. side-lying spooning, but pillows add comfort and angle options. You could even massage during intercourse.
Rainbow arch. Massage too. Lovely.
For her control, ascending position. She's on top, cross-legged, he's supported by pillows.
Ascending position she leads.
Half-press position and churning. Pillow support for both, allows for playing with depth and angle, feels very connected. Accomplishing position uses pillows and leg placement for varied feelings.
Lots of variety just with pillows and leg changes.
Totally. And for backdoor exploration, reciprocal sight of the posteriors, uses a ramp and wedge to lift her, making anal or vaginal play easy while facing away.
Wow, specific tools for specific angles.
And even standing, like the twining of the creeper, leg-wrapped embrace. Focuses more on connection, breath, less on deep thrusting. Shows the range.
It really brings those ancient ideas into the modern bedroom, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Makes them practical.
Okay, you mentioned the back door, anal play. The book covers that too.
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
Sure.
Presents it as a source of potentially exquisite pleasure for both men and women. And guess what's crucial?
Let me guess. Positioning.
You got it. Positioning for comfort and satisfaction.
So what are the hot spots there?
Well, the A spot, the anus itself, very sensitive. The AC, anal canal, the internal sphincter, responds to pressure. Then the RM spot, the rectum, it has curves, so you need a gentle approach.
Curves. Gentle approach. Important.
And remember, anal play can indirectly stimulate her G spot or PS spot
Right.
and his R spot or P spot.
Okay. What practical advice does the book give? It can seem intimidating.
It's very practical. Addresses the duty factor hygiene, recommends enemas or showering if you want, stresses using barriers, condoms, dams, gloves.
Safety first.
And managing the mental side, any anxieties. Focus on sensation, on breathing. Go slow.
And warming up.
Crucial. Gentle massage of the A spot. And finding the right angles for your anatomy and what you want to stimulate. RM spot, GPS for her, RP for him. It's individual.
Okay, position examples for anal.
Simplest is easy anal. Pillows under hips. Done.
Easy anal. Good start.
A modified downward-facing doggy. Hands on bed, hips up. Allows a deeper stretch. Maybe hits G-spot or clit, too.
Down doggy. Interesting angle.
Supported roll. Use rolled pillows for comfort. Allow side-to-side rocking, hitting different anal spots.
Supported roll. Rocking motion.
Then there's anal, PS and G, flip her over. Uses a flip ramp. Start with anal, then easily shift the angle to target her PS and G spots.
Flip ramp for angle shifts. Clever.
Coitus from the back-facing anal. Wedge under her pelvis lifts the butt. Can allow deeper thrusts, more body contact.
Wedge again. Versatile.
And for his pleasure. Prostate pleasure, please. She's on top or side lying, allows angled penetration with fingers or a strap-on to reach the P-spot.
Angled access for his P-spot.
Or gentler options like soft and sensual for him.
Yeah.
He bends over curved pillows or an SA shape. Comfortable angled access.
Soft and sensual. Comfort focused.
And for strap-on play, strap-on seated connection. Uses a ramp and pillows for a comfy face-to-face anal position.
Lots of options there. Really highlights how angles adapt things.
Totally. And the book really pushes the idea of using multiple positions in one session.
What's that?
Well, it prolongs things, stimulates different spots, keeps it fresh and fun, adds creativity. It's not about finding just one magic position.
Variety is the spice.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And thinking about the transitions between positions helps it flow better, though, leave room for spontaneity too.
Makes sense. Does it give examples of, sequences?
It does. It outlines 7 red-hot sessions. Things like lust, love, behind, bound, slow, sensation, contact. Each uses angle positions differently for a specific vibe or goal.
Contact session. What's that about?
That one's really about exploration. Adapting familiar positions just by asking each other simple questions. What feels good? What if we shift this way? Very collaborative.
I like that. Collaborative exploration. And tools help with this. Positioning tools.
Yeah, that's the term they use. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Pillows, towels, bolsters you already own, furniture, or, specialized gear like the Liberator stuff. Wedge, ramp, hipster, scoop, flip ramp, lots of shapes.
So many options. What do these tools really do?
They create new angles you couldn't achieve otherwise, offer new sensations, support, elevation, give you a totally new perspective, literally, on erotic possibilities.
Opens things up.
Exactly. The book also mentions sensory stuff like blindfolds or even light bondage gear, cuffs, ropes, if that's your thing. Just adds another layer.
And setting the scene, that's important too, right?
Definitely. Comfort is key.
Mm-hmm.
Think about lighting, maybe candles, and lubricant. Super important, especially for anal play.
Good point. Any recommendations there?
The book gives a quick overview. Coconut oil, aloe-based, silicone, organic options. Different types have different benefits. Silicone is often recommended for anal sex because it lasts longer,
Okay, lots to think about, lots to potentially try.
for sure. But the main takeaway really is pretty simple. Understanding angles, using positioning, often just with pillows. It can make a huge difference to pleasure for everyone.
So for our listeners who want that quick, thorough knowledge, hopefully this deep dive gave you some really concrete ideas, specific examples you can actually, explore.
Yeah, the encouragement is really to be playful, be creative, talk to your partner, figure out what works for you. It's a discovery
Maybe
process.
set up some sex labs, like dedicated time to try things out without pressure.
That's a great idea. Just experimenting, focusing on sensation and fun.
Okay, so a final thought to leave people with.
Well, now that you know we're maybe not meant for just flat sex, what new dimensions of pleasure could you and your partner unlock
Yeah.
just by embracing the simple power of angles?
Definitely something to think about and perhaps experiment with.